Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the show. This is Reservations, and I'm Jeremy Blair.
And I'm Rain Whalen. I didn't have a bit
That's fine.
planned, mainly because after last week you threw me off, so...
Yeah.
So, dude, before we get into it, because I know you said you had some things to say, I just want to say, thank you to everyone who checked out our 300th episode. It's doing really good on YouTube right now. 79 views, which is what's up. Even though I feel like we talked more of the cultural impact of Rocky Horror, which is, it's important.
That's part of it. I think that's half of the experience is the impact in our society and culturally. Yeah.
Maybe next time we could do another watch a movie with us.
Maybe
that people would actually want us. See,
I need to prep more.
Well, and seeing like, I think the only way we could do that would be if we live streamed it. At least I don't know. Maybe. Little inside baseball, everyone. When we did our 200th episode and did sort of like a watch a movie with us, and we did Mask of the Phantasm. Initially, there was going to be the video playing alongside our heads. That way, you could see what scenes we were reacting to. And as soon as I uploaded it to YouTube, it got taken. Well, yeah, I was gonna say it got taken down, but it didn't really. They were like, you can't have copyrighted content.
Makes sense.
I was like, but come on. But yeah, maybe one day I can figure out how to do that without us getting in trouble.
Yeah.
So anyway, but dude, you said you had some things you wanted to discuss.
Yes. Okay. So it sort of ties in with how we open our shows now, which is, talking about freestyle, right?
Yes.
And, using Reservos 7 at checkout when you go to freestyleusa.com and picking out your watch. Today I'm wearing my wife's Fruit Punch Mini. So,
Yeah, after she threatened you under pain of death.
She did.
Not to mess up her other one.
Right. She just didn't want to get it. She actually threatened me with violence by if I mess with the strap here, which I had to put it on, that I need to put it back so I can put it back on her wrist while she's sleeping when we're done. But anyway, so it's about like something that I have recently, been aware of, or it hasn't really bothered me until now for some reason. Like, and I have examples as well. So that's enough preamble. I think that if you do something like what we do, right? Mind you, what we do is not our full-time job. This is just for fun. This is a hobby. We enjoy doing this. It's really just for us, right? I think it's fun to like have this like quasi partnership with freestyle. I think that's super fun. It gives it a little bit more edge to our hobby that we like to do, right?
Right.
But like, if what you do is something like this, and you want to do a podcast and you want to get sponsorships, if you are selling or promoting gambling websites, you are a piece of shit. I think it is the most insidious, heinous product on the market right now are these gambling websites. And here's an example. Okay. Mind you, I wasn't aware of this person until, and yeah, I'm about to talk some shit about someone that you may like. I don't know.
Okay.
But I was not aware of this person until he actually broke into the film industry himself, made a really shitty horror movie, and then went back to doing YouTube stuff, which is Chris Stuckman. I had never heard of him before. Chris Stuckman made Shelby Oaks, right? I was being mean earlier. I haven't seen Shelby Oaks, so I can't speak to it. I can only speak of the reviews and my dad's review, which is it wasn't very good. And like it didn't perform well, right? And he even, from my understanding, he even changed his reviewing style during and after he was making Shelby Oaks, right? Like he would review movies and he would treat them more with kid gloves, right? Like if he didn't like a movie or whatever, like he would be like, well, it's really hard making a movie. I'm making one now. And my whole thing was, you weren't taking that into account beforehand?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why it took you being like actively doing it to understand it instead of, like maybe thinking about that before. It did whatever. I don't like that. But it also airs of pretension, like, well, I'm making one, therefore I know the struggle. Therefore, I'm going to be less critical of this movie. It's bullshit, right?
Right.
But afterward, so after Shelby Oaks didn't do very well, he did a video. It was like on Snow White, I think, the live action Snow White.
Uh-huh.
It was like 4 or 5 minutes long, the video. 2 of those minutes were him hawking a gambling website. Or like a gambling subscription or some bullshit site like that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how low can you go? I would rather you like sell cigarettes and booze on here, right? Like to me that's less harmful. Like I don't know why. I think it's because I don't have that drive, or I'm so cautious and neurotic that I can't gamble. Like it drives me nuts. I've tried it before. I don't like it. Right.
Uh-huh.
But then again, like, the time I did try it, I mean, it was a horrible experience. Like I lost money. Like it was no fun.
Yeah.
Like I get that gambling can be fun. It can be rewarding. Right.
Yeah.
But that's not what it's designed for. It is designed for you to lose and to ruin your life. I hate that like when I see celebrities like being like, hey, download this slot machine app and then blah blah blah, or DraftKings, or like all these like sporting sites. I am seeing so many now where you can bet on anything.
Yeah, it's
Literally
like
anything.
Keshi or something like that. Yeah.
Literally anything. You can bet on like box office numbers. You can bet on literally anything, right? And it's disgusting. And I think that if you're selling stuff like that, you're disgusting, and I hate you. So that was my soapbox. That's my current what makes me angry. Which it also might be pretentious on my part. I might be wrong. I might be like, the guy who can't have fun and I don't understand or whatever. But from the outside looking in, it looks pretty bad to me. I don't like it. It's sleazy and it's shady.
Well, and like in your defense, a lot of these games are targeted towards kids, and I mean, yeah, I would say probably over 80% is targeted towards adults, but I mean, there is a small portion of it that's targeted to kids and preys on kids, and there also needs to be like some sort of moral, like a moral like compass for someone to follow. So I get your point.
Well,
I think it's dumb.
I'm not really too worried about, because like kids would have to have access to like an account, like I'm not so worried about that. I guess by kids, if you mean like older teenagers or like people in their 20s, sure. What a terrible way to get started on your financial journey than to get addicted to gambling.
Yeah. When you could just do what I do and spend money on Pokemon cards.
Right, exactly. But anyway, that's what I'm mad about these days.
Well, Jeremy, tell me what you're happy about these days.
All right.
Especially because you saw something amazing.
I did. I saw The Odyssey. So Zach, if you're listening, we've already talked. It is incredible. The amount of stuff in the film that is practical it's going to blow your mind. I mean, Nolan hates CGI. And so, like, yes, he has to use it in some cases, right? But if he doesn't have to, he won't. Um, and it is just it's so cool. Like, the movie is awesome. Um, yeah, I mean, the hype's it's real. I would say I wouldn't be like, again, like we said last week. I'm not. I think hyperbole is the worst thing in the whole wide world. Um, it's worse than like 7 Holocausts, but that's hyperbole. Anyway, um, I don't want to hype it up too much. Like, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. Like, if you find like medieval stuff, not medieval, but like Greek mythology, and if you find that stuff boring, then you might find this boring. If you find someone like a travel movie, like someone traveling from place to place, if you find that boring, you're not gonna like it. I love that stuff. I liked it. And of course it's Nolan, so I mean, it looked fantastic, and the cinematography is stellar, and again, the practical effects. There was one scene, I won't mention which scene, but the actor that's in the scene gave an interview. He goes, "Oh yeah, that was in camera," and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that any of it wasn't CGI. But anyway, go see the Odyssey. It's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to add on that, even though I have not seen it yet, I really want to see it. My little PSA is, like, form your own opinion about things. Like, don't let these troglodytes out there, who are shitting on stuff, like, sway your opinion. Go make your own opinion. Go
Yeah.
see the fucking movie.
I agree.
And then make your own opinion.
I agree. People who are upset about casting choices, grow up.
Yeah. And I want to add to that too. This is not historically accurate for a reason. It's based on a legend. Like, it doesn't have to be. It would be like, I'm trying to think of like something, in comparison, but like, it's not historically accurate for a reason. Like,
yeah, I mean, we would need to do some research to find out when that became so important to people, that things be historically accurate, and be a accurate representation on screen of how it was in history. I mean, but like, that seems weird to me, that we're holding people, not me, I don't care, but other people are holding movies to such that high standard, right? And I don't know when that started.
Well,
because it's like a stage play. I saw a meme that was like, a stage play would kill these people, because like, when are you ever going to get accurate representation of a specific time and place on a stage, right? You don't,
Yeah.
And I agree. Yeah.
Well, and like, I don't want to put it all on this person, because you and I both love this director, but it doesn't help that Robert Eggers is out here making sure, like, everything down to the buttons,
you're right,
is accurate. Again, we love Robert Eggers.
We do.
He is not part of the problem.
No,
but he is kind of a part of the problem.
He's too good. That's what's part of the problem,
dude. And God only knows what Werewolf is going to be like, bro.
Wait.
Dude,
I can't.
Okay, now you said you had a third thing.
I did, and this is very recent. This is today.
Okay.
I was scrolling through Reels or TikTok or something, right? And this guy was talking about a show that I had heard of, but had never even thought about watching. And he was describing it, and I said, "That's what that show is?" I immediately found it, and I started watching it. So he was talking about the HBO miniseries called Landscapers. Okay. It's with David Thewlis and Olivia Colman. Okay.
Is this that new show that
it came out 5 years ago? Okay. And I vaguely remember when it came out. I remember seeing the promotional art. I never saw a trailer or anything. And I was doing other stuff. I was like, I didn't have any interest, right? It is a murder mystery based on a true story. This middle-aged couple from England, who were living in France at the time, were now suspects in a double homicide of the wife's parents. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now it becomes a story of, this is what happened. No, this is what happened. No, that, you know what I mean? But here's what got me. Okay. The
Okay.
guy was saying in the third episode, which I got through, they are Olivia Colman is in the scene, and it's the police interrogators, her lawyer and herself are in the interrogation room, and the police officer, who, by the way, is played by Kate O'Flynn, who is in Widow's Bay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that show is magnificent also. But anyway, so I recognize her from Widow's Bay. She gets fed up and she goes, you know what I think happened? Come with me. And literal stagehands come and take the set apart. Okay?
Uh-huh.
She goes walking in front of camera, outside the door, onto the sound stage, past camera operators and boom mics and grips and all that, and she looks at the camera, she goes, no, you come with me too. And then they go to another part of the sound stage where another set is, and then she starts like, I think you were here, I think he was there, I think your dad was here, I think your mom was here, and manipulates the scene, like manipulates the actors as if they're, like, it's the coolest fourth wall break I'd ever seen. And the show is scattered with these things, these fourth wall breaks and these really cool set pieces and really stylized surrealist takes on flashbacks and perspective. It is so cool. So if you can find it, Landscapers, it is well worth your time. I have one episode left.
I might need to check that out now.
Oh, it's incredible.
I kind of like that. Especially because like I don't have anything new to add to like what I've been watching. Haven't seen The Odyssey yet. I've been falling behind on my Frasier rewatch. And I've been thinking more and more about all the other shows I need to watch, like fucking season 2 of X-Men 97.
Right.
But I might need to check that out now, man.
Dude, that's awesome. It's like it was made for me,
there was something I was going to tell you when we got started, but I don't remember now.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. It's my stupid brain's fault. I guess just a real quick update before we jump into the episode. Something I actually have been doing and keeping up with. So I've mentioned on the show before, I've gotten back into reading, and well, I started this book series that's one of Ashley's favorites. Maybe some of our listeners out there may know it. It's called Throne of Glass. It's really cool. We listened to the kind of prequel book. It's just a collection of novellas on the way to Denton and back for Ashley's graduation.
Nice.
And then I listened to the first official book, Throne of Glass. I'm on technically the third book in the series called Air, H-E-I-R, Air of Fire. Dude, this shit's rad, bro.
Yeah.
I am a little disappointed that Spotify doesn't have the rest of the series on audiobook, because these books are progressively getting thicker. Mm-hmm. And even though I physically like reading a book, I get through it so much easier with audiobook. Yeah. So after this one, I have to start physically reading it or get an Audible subscription, and fuck that shit.
I mean, I use my mom's, but
well, I'm waiting. Well, they're all out now, but I'm waiting to get my Audible subscription. That way I can plow through the cast readings of Harry Potter.
Oh, sure.
With fucking Hugh Laurie and shit. But so far, man, dude, I'm in it, bro. Like, nice. There's a reveal in the second book called Crown of Midnight, and I was at work. I was on lunch listening to it, and I literally jumped out of my chair, and I sit in I wouldn't call it a break room, but people are working, and I jump out of my chair, and they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, no, don't worry about me. Like, everything's fine. But nothing, but nothing's everything's fine, but nothing's fine. Like, dude, because I was like, holy shit. So, if anyone's knowing what I'm talking about, it's so good.
Cool.
Dude, maybe you should check it out. I mean, y'all pay for Spotify Premium, right?
Yeah, but I usually just do all of mine on Audible. Right
well,
now,
I mean,
right now I'm in the middle of 2 books. In the middle, I've barely started the second one, but it's awesome. I started Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Oh, nice. We have we have the first book,
and it's rad as shit. So,
and it's being made into a show.
I know,
Matt Dinniman and Seth MacFarlane, which I think is really interesting. Yeah. But yeah, dude, no, it's up on there, bro. If you want to check it out, listen to the Assassin's Blade. I mean, some people might tell you that's not the first book, but I'll be honest. We'll get in the episode. Hang on. Having all the context that Sarah J. Maas, the writer, gives in those novellas goes so far once you get into the first book, Throne of Glass. Like, you understand things a little bit more about Selena as a character. Fuck, dude, it's so good. Holy shit. Like, I see why Ashley loves these books so much. But yeah, once I finish the Air of Fire audiobook, then I'm going to read the remaining 4 books of the series physically. You may also know who Sarah J. Maas is, dude, by the series, her second series that really blew up called A Court of Thorns and Roses.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, that's her second series, which if anyone out there is disagreeing with what I just told Jeremy to do, I'm doing it the way my wife told me to do it. And honestly, it's paid off. So I trust my wife. Because after I finish this series, I'm going to read the ACOTAR series. And then Sarah J. Maas's other series, Crescent City. Anyway, that's all I've been doing, really. And it's rad as shit. Cool. But with that being said, buddy, so what are we talking about today?
Buddy, I love this movie. Today, we are talking about the very recent remake, actually. It's Yorgos Lanthimos' Bugonia.
Dude, I'm really disappointed in myself that it took me this long to actually see the movie. Because I remember hearing about it. I was like, oh shit, another Yorgos Emma Stone movie.
Hell,
like, gotta check that shit out, bro. Saw the trailer and I was like, yeah, I'm in it. Let's go. And just, I don't think we actually got it here in Midland at our local theater, or if we did, I missed it. And then it hit streaming, and I just was like, I don't know yet. I don't know if I'm ready. I really wish I would have watched it sooner. Like, dude, this movie fucking rocks, bro.
As of this recording, before we start spoiling stuff, it is on Netflix. So if you want to, after you made it through the long intro, if you wanted to, be like, you know what? I haven't seen it. Let's go check it out. Go check it out because it's incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first time I also missed it in theaters. Let's see, what was last year? I mean, Maya was still really young, and I wasn't going out to the theater as much. And so my dad is somewhat of a sailor, and so when I went to go see Dad, visiting him in Lubbock, we traveled the high seas, and I watched it at his house. And
I was like, where are you going with that?
Yeah. And dude, I mean, I loved it, and it wasn't really Dad's thing. I mean, he's pretty much up for anything.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I think everyone has heard his saga of.
Yeah. God, he recently watched another one too, and it was one I hadn't heard of. But he said it was brutal. Anyway, I know Dad's awesome. He's crazy, but we love Dad. It wasn't his thing, but he's up for anything. And I was in love. I loved this movie, and I think I just love his style. He's sort of gone away from the rigid monotone, line deliveries, but the cinematography, the set designs, the just the structure of stories he tells are still very much Yorgos, very much Lanthimos.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Well, and
love
I was gonna add to that too, like just like a Yorgos movie, you know, apart from Killing of a Sacred Deer, uh, you know, about 75% of the movie is sort of this dry, dark comedy, and then it ramps up that last 25%, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, and with this movie, and I'll get to the synopsis here in just a second, but literally until the last moments of the movie, I was like, I still don't know,
Yeah.
and obviously there are moments, and we'll get into like the little clues every now and then, but truly, even this like third time around watching it, I was like, man, I mean, there's still like, I would still be like, I don't know, you know. Um, there is such credible evidence on both sides that I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, it was such a delicate balance for the mystery
Mm-hmm.
here, and I was blown away by how well it was kept until those final moments, until you're
Yeah.
finally given permission to know exactly what's going on, and that just gives that it just means that Yorgos had so much control over his story and over his structure, and it was just so brilliant. Okay, Bugonia. Bugonia follows Teddy and Don. Teddy and Don are cousins. They are sort of loners. They are, Teddy is a conspiracy theorist and a grieving son to a sick mother, who is basically deceased at this point. She's in a coma in a hospital. He works for this company that subsequently got her sick. And he and his cousin, sorry, I couldn't think of the word cousin for a second. He and his cousin, who is very sweet, I love Don, kidnap the CEO of this company, played by Emma Stone, and because he believes that she is an alien, and an alien that has not only come to run experiments on humans, but have created humans, and that are sort of their like lab rats, basically. And
Mm-hmm.
that these people not only created them, but are controlling them and are experimenting on them to create a more sustainable and thriving species. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so they kidnap Emma Stone. They tell her all the stuff that they think she is. She obviously denies it. And the movie just becomes like, who's telling the truth, right?
Right.
Teddy seems very sure. He also sounds like an insane idiot. It's your classic foil hat wearing, these powerful people are aliens, and they're experimenting on us, blah 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 blah. But he has so much information about these aliens that it seems credible. He has their design of their ship, the way they communicate, their DNA, their cell structure, their hierarchy. He later finds out through very painful testing that she is royalty, because she does not die during the testing. Shout out to Green Day. And
Can I say, before you continue,
yeah,
one of the hardest times I laughed
was because it was great.
Yeah,
Amazing. There was basket case. Very fitting. So, and so now you're sort of like, man, he's lost his mind. Like, truly, like, I get that he's struggling, he's grieving, with the ailment of his mother, and that it's their fault, and that he blames them. Of course, I would too, right? But he's sort of lost his mind. He's been alone too long. He's been with his cousin, who is on the autism spectrum, who basically just does anything Teddy says, and that trusts Teddy and loves Teddy, with all that he is, and will follow him to the ends of the earth. And so that's not helping, right? And then you have Emma Stone, you have Michelle, who is very calculated, very pragmatic, very intelligent and articulate, and she is explaining to Teddy what is happening to him, that he's in this echo chamber and that he is validating himself with everything he's seeing online, and that he is only fully believing in these things because he is seeing evidence of it online and on forums and, you know, with other communities that feel the same way. Well, it turns out he's right. And she is an alien. Her race did create human beings. And everything down to the shape of the ship, he was right. Once she realizes she's found out, Teddy, of course, dies. So does Dawn. Stavros is in there. We'll get to Stavros. Super weird character. And she decides to exterminate the human race to basically start over. That's Bugonia.
Yeah. Before we like get into like a lot of the specifics, man, I just gotta say, fucking Jesse Plemons, bro.
Jesse Plemons, man. I know.
Jesse Plemons, bro. Dude, I absolutely love him. Have we done a movie with him as like the lead actor?
That's a great question. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to
dwell. Big fan of Jesse Plemons. I was first made aware of Jesse Plemons in the movie, which I love, which I think still holds up. I haven't seen it in a while, but it's Like Mike.
Dude, fucking Like Mike, bro.
Look at Jesse Plemons, man. He's the bully, misunderstood.
Misunderstood bully.
And he's just so incredible. I was then made aware of his presence again as Todd in Breaking Bad, which is the most menacing, foreboding, sadistic character in that show. And he plays it so beautifully, and he is just magnificent, right?
Yeah.
But Jesse Plemons also understands complex, artistic, surreal storytelling, which is why I love when he's in something like, you know what? We did I'm Thinking of Ending Things, which he was in.
Dude.
Because when he's given material like this, like, I get so excited because he's going to understand the vision.
The assignment.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he knows what the director or the writer wants. Like, he knows what Charlie Kaufman wants. He knows what Yorgos wants. You know?
Yeah, he knows, like, I haven't seen anyone talk about this movie in a while, and I'm kind of bummed. I really enjoyed it. The Power of the Dog.
Oh, yeah, Power of the Dog.
Dude, he's getting to act alongside Benedict Cumberbatch, and Benedict Cumberbatch is the sadistic one.
Yeah.
Dude.
I know. Jesse Plemons is incredible.
But yeah, Jesse Plemons is fucking awesome. I absolutely loved his performance. And Emma's. You know, I think Emma, much like I think a lot of actors who really came up in comedies in the mid 2000s, I think she's just become such a powerhouse. You know, gone are the days of like Zombieland and Superbad and Easy A.
Yeah,
like, even though those movies are great, I think they still hold up. Emma, much like our boy Robert Pattinson, she has sort of transcended those roles and done so many great things. I mean, I still haven't seen Poor Things or Kinds of Kindness yet. Ashley really wants to see Poor Things, and I'm like, good, because so do I.
Yeah.
But I love that they got to do almost every scene together.
Yeah.
Because it's so like, I was in it, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, and like yourself, I was so like Well, who's telling the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there are moments where I'm like, maybe Jesse's telling the truth. And then I'm like, no, he can't be, because, she is so adamant, and she just seems so confident and so sure that I'm like, no way, like this
Yeah.
movie's going to end up like where I think it's going to end up, where he was wrong. She's a human. He was crazy, all that stuff. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think even Yorgos, like Lanthimos films are strange,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I don't know, like I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that it ends in a realistic way, right?
Yeah.
And because like it's so stylized anyway, that might be the hook. That's where Lanthimos gets to shine and get to be himself, is in the structure and in the presentation. But no, we got our alien ship. So
yeah, dude. And something, now that we're kind of focusing on the film itself, this was a lot funnier than I was expecting.
it is funny.
Like I knew that like it was all like, everything I'd read about it was like, oh, this, dark comedy, thriller. And I was like, okay, like I'm thinking, okay, very dry humor, but there's a lot of parts that are pretty funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wasn't expecting it to be funny. Again, the basket case scene,
Great.
I audibly cackled. And I think it's because of the absurdity of the scene, is that she's being tortured with essentially electroshock therapy.
Essentially.
And Green Day's Basket Case is playing in the background.
For what reason, we don't know.
Yeah. But I wasn't expecting it to be funny, but also really mysterious, in the sense of like, there's so much backstory, especially with Teddy, that we're not getting. That something I also appreciate about Yorgos is he's given us clues, kind of like Lynch, giving us clues, little breadcrumbs. But he's still like, but I'm not going to focus on that though. Here it is. But we're not like, it's kind of implied that I guess Casey assaulted Teddy at some point.
Absolutely, he did.
Yeah. And I guess something happened with their dad. Probably also an assault. I don't know. And obviously, there's some resentment from his mother with that weird flashback, surreal.
I was in love with those. So so Alicia Silverstone, incredible.
Oh, dude.
Right? I know.
Dude,
like she's also one that I'm like, I'm so excited she's in this. Like, I love that she also will do something like The Lodge and Killing of a Sacred Deer and this. Like she'll get out of doing like things people think she should be doing, because she was in Clueless and in Batman and Robin, right?
Batman and Robin, yeah.
Right. But no, she's doing shit like this, and I love that, right? And man, so those flashbacks, obviously they're surreal and they're supposed to be. These are not meant to be accurate representations of what happened, right? These are more representations of how it felt to be in that situation, right? But it was very Tarkovsky, and it was very Fellini, which I really liked, because in the bathroom it was more Tarkovsky, like Mirror, right? And then when he's at the facility with her floating in the air, it was very Fellini, like 8.5. I thought was so cool. And even the syringe acupuncture was so unsettling, and I didn't like that at all. So cool. I was in love with those.
Yeah. I was like, wait, is this like, once I saw the giant syringe acupuncture, I was like, okay, this is all in Teddy's head. But clearly there's some something with his mother as well, the way she describes herself, which I'm not going to repeat because it's very aggressive. but like almost like, you know, she's willing to do this, you know. Um, so I really liked that Yorgos gives us these breadcrumbs. I wouldn't say necessarily to answer the question of why is Teddy the way he is,
Mhm.
but I guess to help the audience maybe understand why he would believe something. It's because there's already so much trauma
Yeah.
there, but again, he's like, yeah, but we're not going to focus on that.
Well, and it's
Like,
brilliant because that's a way to not only give an explanation, but also have you sort of questioning his mental state, because he's
mm-hmm,
clouded by revenge, grief, you know, and anger.
mm-hmm,
And I think also with the structure of the story and how it works and what the characters are doing and interacting with each other, when they give Michelle the tape recorder, right?
mm-hmm,
Um, and she does that bullshit thing where she's like, "Oh yes, I'm an alien, my ship," blah blah blah. Later, when she snaps and she's screaming at him and telling him all of this lore with the
yeah,
aliens, you think that she is making fun of him. At least I did. I thought that, there's a chance she's making all this up.
right,
There's a chance that she is placating him, she's buying time. She's also super angry and frustrated, in that she's just making stuff up as she goes. And that she's telling him all the stuff he wants to hear to distract him so she can get away. Right?
mm-hmm,
That's what I thought. And again, it a very delicate balance, because if it wasn't for that first scene of her tape recording, I would have thought, okay, now she's snapped, she's telling the truth, blah blah blah. But because of that tape recording, I go, okay, maybe she's just doing what he asked at first, you know.
mm-hmm,
But now it's just a heated moment, you know. Um, she seemed to notice her hair right away, also, which is an indication that maybe he's telling the truth. Is that almost as soon as she wakes up, she goes, "You shaved my head," you know. Where is my
yeah.
hair, you know? Um, and of course, later on, he's of course right that that's how they communicate with one another. I mean, it's so good.
Ashley kind of came in late in the movie. I really thought she wanted to watch it, but she kind of came in late, and she came in when Emma goes back to the mothership.
Oh, yes, that is very
and and uh and the beanie, she was like, oh my god, that's hilarious. I was like, yeah, and I'm sure there's layers there with a Yorgos film, but I was like,
they're crocheted outfits.
yeah, the crocheted outfits, yeah. But yeah, dude, I'm glad you brought up that scene where she does kind of, I guess now in retrospect, she's probably being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before I continue with that thought, they reveal that she is the emperor,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say, because I'm gonna say they called her emperor, but
or she is of the bloodline of the emperor. So I mean, she is the emperor.
Yeah.
And it was from the electroshock that he figured that out, and somehow. And what this movie's too good. Even when they go to her office, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and she tells him, she pulls out a box with a calculator in it, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It should be so obvious to me that I should be on board now with this is real, but I still wasn't, because of Emma's
Yeah.
performance. Because she was like, "Oh, well,
Mm-hmm.
it had to look
I'm trying
well.
to
Well, I'm trying
remember.
to remember it's a 56-digit code." And I go, "That's a ridiculous number." Right? And like, it's so long and you have it memorized, and it's Like, that's so silly, right? Like, of course she's biding her time, you know? And like so here's the moment where I was like, oh, she's an alien. It took me her jumping out of the ambulance.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, okay. Like,
yeah, because why would she
why
go
would
back?
she do that? Yeah.
Yeah, and her being like, so he's dead? Like, okay, great.
Okay, great. I got it.
Now I have a question for you, since
Sure.
we're on that scene specifically. Do you think she did something to the teleporter to set the suicide bomb off?
Yeah, I think she may have put in the number wrong, on purpose, so it like malfunctioned or just didn't work, and maybe she knew that that thing was going to go off anyway. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, because she's already backing up. Like, as soon as he shut the door, she's
yeah. So she must
trying
have
to get out of the
something,
way. Yeah.
or she may have known that no matter what, like the teleporter being set off is going to set the bomb off. Maybe, like maybe she knew that. So maybe she did put it in correctly, and she just knew it was going to. And dude, his head hitting her head was nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. So, dude, so many things just took me by surprise. Again, the movie's funnier than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Like, yes, it's grisly to see a dismembered head flying towards your character, but it's also kind of funny the fact that she gets knocked out.
Yeah.
From him, like, essentially giving her a headbutt.
Exactly.
That's funny.
I mean, square in the head,
dude. But yeah, man, when it ramps up, when Don kills himself, dude.
Yeah.
Holy Jesus. I had a suspicion that was going to happen, because how he was starting to talk to her, like, tell Teddy I'm sorry.
Oh,
like,
Jesus.
No, like, Don, what are you doing? And then I was like, maybe, I don't know why, maybe after us doing Killing of a Sacred Deer, I thought maybe, like, okay, I understand Yorgos now.
Sure.
I thought what it would have been more shocking is if we didn't actually see it, that we would just see Emma's reaction and then her getting splattered with blood. Again, surprised that I was surprised that we fucking see it, like, fully.
And you also got the Emma shot too, so you got both.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, it ramped up so quickly, bro, and then he kills Casey. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But I find it interesting that, up until that point, like, the movie wasn't violent inherently. I mean, I think the most we'd seen was the electroshock.
Yeah.
But pretty much after that, the movie got more violent.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't incredibly violent necessarily. You're right. But when it was violent, it was pretty graphic. Like Stavros getting his skull beat in.
Yeah, and if anyone does watch this on Netflix, they say it's rated R for grisly images.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Well, because again, it's few and far between, but it's there.
Yeah. So, okay, why did you want to stave off the Stavros?
Just because it was so strange. So, like, it's world building, right? So it's giving, like, some context also to Teddy's background and his trauma. But choosing that specifically was really interesting, and also having it be kind of funny. Because Stavros is a stand-up comedian, also very Greek. Yorgos likes to cast Greek actors, so much so that they are wearing Jennifer Aniston masks when they kidnap Michelle.
Oh yeah,
Jennifer Aniston is Greek, and that is why her mask is used.
Interesting.
I did not know that until this movie came out. And I was like, why Jennifer Aniston? That's why. Lanthimos is very proud of his Greek heritage. and his Greekness.
Well, and he should be.
And he should be.
But yeah, so okay. I also want to talk about the reveal that Michelle isn't the first one. You know, pretty much the whole movie, we're led to believe that Michelle is the first one they've ever abducted, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, the beginnings before we get the title shot of Bugonia. You know, it seems like, you know, this is something new for Teddy and Dawn, you know, Teddy being like, we can't let it distract us, you know, referring to her as an it, you know, testing out like the different sizes of like the ski masks, you know, and you know, pretty much the whole movie makes it seem like she's the first one.
I agree.
But then again, just like with Teddy's trauma, Yorgos gives us a little breadcrumbs, you know, like specifically during the electroshock, like, you know, it didn't do that before. Like, wait, what do you mean before?
Yeah.
Like,
and then of course she finds the room and it's like, oh, they've done this a lot of times.
Yeah. Which is so, again, adds more like depth to Teddy's character, because clearly it's been more than once. I mean, there's a fresh body just chilling there.
Yeah.
You know, and it makes me wonder. Well, it doesn't really make me wonder. It just really shows how bought in he is on his own delusion. Now, granted, yes, he was right. But looking at it from the perspective of this is before we get the reveal that he was right, we're like, holy shit. Like, yeah, he's really bought into his own delusion.
Yeah.
That he's just, you know, and then he claims only 2 of them he can't confirm was Andromedan.
And, you know, like when you watch it again, you're like, yeah, I bet you he nailed it. I bet you it was only 2. You know?
Yeah. Now, I also want to talk about, because I was talking about this movie a little bit at work today. I feel like this is also an indictment on kind of how we become as a society, especially with, you know, them bringing up the echo chamber.
Sure.
Because I do believe that a little bit, that we as a society, we as a people have become so addicted to what's being said on the internet, you know, that, again, like I just said, it sort of feeds into this idea that we already have. And I feel like this was like, how could we take that to the extreme? Which, unfortunately, also in this day and age, that extreme is not really extreme, because I'm sure people actually do that, which is so interesting and scary. But I feel like they were sort of, in a way, again, trying to like, how can we take this kind of thing to the extreme? And again, not satirize it in a way, because they're not necessarily making fun of it, but they are sort of like, hey, like, this is how bad it could really get.
No, I mean, it's definitely an eat the rich sort of story, right? Like, her being a successful CEO of a very large company is important. It's also important that the actions of that company did irreparable damage to a customer and possible employee. I don't know if she worked for them or not. I don't remember. And that the company is
but Teddy does.
Right, exactly. Like, the company is so big that Teddy works for them, you know? And it's the, you know, you have the parallels of the very wealthy, which is Michelle, and we see her lifestyle in the beginning. And then, of course, we see Teddy and Dawn and their house and what they have to do and, you know, how they get by, and it's very different. And so it is sort of an indictment on the class system. It's an indictment on, you know, the very rich and powerful. And in this case, they just so happen to be aliens that control the human race, which, of course, is an analogy that is not lost on me. So,
Yeah.
Also, it's sort of like I don't know what it's trying to say about conspiracy theories, because like obviously he's right in this case. And what I mean, what I thought was so funny, and I don't know if it's meant to be funny, but like each chapter keeps showing more and more of the earth and that it's flat. um Unreal.
Yeah.
Right, so
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny.
Yeah, again, Ashley came in at the end of the movie, and I laughed. I was like, "Oh my god, the model is a flat Earth.
It's
Amazing."
the earth is flat. Like, and,
All I could think of was shout out Smiling Friends when they
yes,
learn that the Earth is flat. Like, oh my god, like we have to keep this quiet. Like we can't tell anyone.
it's a very similar model too.
Yeah.
Like it was a very rocky, earthy bottom, but a flat top. It's so funny. And I'm like, Lanthimos, I don't know what what the point of view is on this,
Now, well, that I'm going to be honest. I feel like that was making fun of flat earthers.
Sure. Yeah.
Like for sure. Like maybe he's not satirizing conspiracy theorists, but he's making fun of flat earthers.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So funny.
Now I do find it interesting. Now when she pops that bubble and ends all human life, that it's just that it ends human life. It doesn't.
Yes.
It doesn't end, the animals' lives, which I find really interesting. But it kind of goes back to the earlier conversation that Teddy and Michelle have about bees, and essentially that man is the reason why the bees are disappearing.
Let's talk about the title Bugonia.
Okay. Yes, because I never realized until I was prepping, editing last week's episode and doing our time codes for the video. I did not realize it's spelled incorrectly.
Well, yeah. So Bugonia is an ancient Greek word, of course, meaning progeny from an ox. Okay. It refers to ritual that sprang from a myth that bees could spontaneously generate from the carcass of an ox killed without any blood being spilled, a means of sacrifice that generally resulted in prolonged suffering from the animal, like clubbing. Which parallels the ending of the film where humanity is wiped out without any bloodshed in order for the earth to regenerate in its absence. I'm getting that from the IMDb trivia, but I just needed something to read off of. But yeah, it is just so that human life is exterminated, leaving Earth to sort of restart, basically, without human life. Because I also thought the same thing the first time, where I was like, oh wait, there's still birds and dogs, so they're fine. So popping the top of it didn't mean all oxygen is removed from the planet, but I guess just a representation of extermination.
Well, and to tie into I was gonna say, and to tie into last week's episode, or 300th episode, the final line from the criminologist is, fuck, I thought I had it, and I was like, but I don't want to butcher it if I'm wrong. Essentially calling the human race parasites.
Yeah.
I feel like really leads into this one very well, especially considering that it was an experiment, I guess, to see how humans would do, and I guess Teddy was the final straw,
sure.
And failing the test.
He exposed them also, so
that's true.
It's sort of like, the experiment's a failure. There's no going back. And of course, like, she can't ever go back anyway because she just destroyed her anonymity, basically. Like someone exploded in her office. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, her sort of quiet existence, as public as it is, um, the reputation that she controlled is over. Like the image of her over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really feel bad, dude. I just remember there was something I wanted to bring up, and I mean, I'll go ahead and still bring it up, but
Sure.
I should have brought it up when we were talking about the not knowing who was telling the truth, which is that first that the first half where Michelle is still CEO. Well, I mean, she is still CEO, but like when she's still running the company, she's giving like very CEO answers, like, "Oh yeah, the 5:30 thing."
So funny.
Dude, like, we can't have another incident, so like, please let everyone know they can leave at 5:30. But you know, like, if they still have work to do, like, obviously they should finish that.
It's very corporate.
But they, yeah, and I was just like, dude, she's nailing that, because that's probably exactly how some of these like multi-billion-dollar CEOs talk. Like,
yeah, no,
like,
absolutely. Yeah, like
we want to have this work-life balance, but also like there's quotas they hit.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's still work to do. So if you still, and even as she's leaving, she's telling the valet, it's like, hey, you can leave early if you want, but it's your choice. You know, putting it on them.
Yeah,
it's very corporate. It's manipulative in that very specific way where it's like, I'm giving you like, the option to make the right choice. You know?
Yeah, like, I'm saying you can leave at 5:30, but you have the choice. And so you, as the employee, you're like, so will I get in trouble if I
it's
leave
a
at
trap.
5:30? Yes. Well, and I love like when they come back to the office and she's like, it's 5:35. You should go home.
So
like,
good. I mean,
even though like
at the very end, they're still making me laugh. I mean, it's so good.
Dude, yeah. Again, I was not expecting it to be that funny.
I know.
But, you know, I've also heard that Poor Things is hysterical.
Poor Things is very funny. Yeah.
And I heard Kinds of Kindness is funny.
I need to see it again.
Point. Yeah. But dude, oh man, I'm so upset that it took me this long. I mean, granted, this movie's only less than a year old, but God, I wish I would have seen it sooner because it's so good.
It's very good. I know. It's very surprising because like it got a lot of critical acclaim. It got a lot. I think it did very well in the box office. I mean, people went and saw it. Like, Lanthimos is doing something really interesting where he is taking these really strange left of center ideas that are bizarre and surreal and cerebral and so interesting, and serving it to mainstream audiences. I mean, I was in a pretty decently filled theater when I saw Poor Things, and I went with Haley. Haley actually liked it too. Like, she didn't. I guess liked it is probably too far, but she did not hate it. And which is so interesting because it was so weird. And stylistically so creative and unique that like and that started, I think, with The Favorite. The Favorite was a little bit more mainstream in its presentation, and where it was very strange and very stylized and also uniquely Lanthimos, it was still digestible to regular audience members, that they got to taste a little bit of Lanthimos. And then ever since then, it's sort of like, oh, we're going to go see this because it's weird, but it's fun, you know? And, you know, he's going to use the fisheye lens and let's go, you know? And it's great. I'm thrilled that Lanthimos has gained such popularity with mainstream moviegoers.
Agreed, dude. Like, you know, I remember when we did The Lobster. Like, I really enjoyed The Lobster. I'm really proud of that episode. But I was like, man, like, no no way like a normal audience goer would like enjoy this. But you're right. I mean, Poor Things did so well. I mean, Emma Stone won an Oscar for it. And clearly there's this now like work relationship with her and Yorgos, because now they've done, this is 4 movies together, right? Yeah, because The Favorite, Poor Things.
Yes, The Favorite, Poor Things, Kinds of Kindness, and then this one. And
yeah, so
yeah, and
clearly
again,
Emma wants to keep working with them.
yeah, and like I said in the tease last week, someone asked her, or someone asked Lanthimos, it's like do actors ever like ask you like a bunch of questions like what is going on, why am I doing this like this, why is this character this way? And he goes, yeah, that's why I work with Emma Stone, because she quit asking me questions like that. And he just goes along with whatever, because she
Like, hey,
again can see it. She understands the vision, she understands the story and the motivations and all of that, and that's killer, especially with Kinds of Kindness, because it is so strange.
yeah, and being an anthology as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's baffling to me that we are getting movies that not only appeal to mainstream audiences that are like this, but also have such powerhouse A-list talent involved, which is awesome.
Agreed. Yeah, man. It's God. And what's crazy is I was talking about this, like I said, I was talking about this movie at work today, and a lot of people like knew what I was talking about, but they were like, "Yeah, I haven't seen it." I'm like, "You should watch this. This is awesome. Like, it might be a little weird, but like, it's awesome."
Yeah, I told Haley we were doing this, and she goes, "What's the movie?" I go, "Bugonia." She goes, "Oh, you're watching Balzania?" So she calls it Balzania, which I think is very funny.
Dude, your wife's got some bangers, bro. Like when I told you about the whole like Doomsday, and what'd she say, the Doom?
Doom. Yeah.
Don't let Netflix hear that. It sounds too much like
know,
too dumb.
That's funny.
Well, that being said, buddy, are you ready to wrap up?
I am. Movie's great. Yeah. I'm sorry we spoiled it if you haven't seen it, but it is awesome. And I think even if I mean, obviously it's not so much of a gut punch at the end, but you can still pretty much psych yourself out of it. You can be like, maybe they weren't telling the truth. Maybe it doesn't end that way because she seems pretty credible, or he seems pretty crazy. I mean, again, the balance of those two things, it's incredible. Good job.
Yeah, man, it's so good. I definitely am gonna need to buy the 4K, just because, like, even though I appreciate Netflix has it, I want to own it physically.
No, absolutely.
So good. God damn, it was so good. After, even though Ashley came in at the very end, I was like, you would love this. Like, I really, truly think she would love it. If not for just Plemons and Stone's performance.
Agreed.
Like, yeah, I could watch like 30 more minutes of them just having so many scenes together.
Agreed. Yeah.
Well, buddy, with that being said, are you ready to hear what we're going to talk about next week?
Yeah, I'm gearing up.
Because I'm going to be honest, I'm a little scared.
Oh, Jesus.
How am I going to follow such a great movie?
Well, all right, I will be honest with you. And I think I've mentioned it before. These movies are hard to talk about.
Yeah, I know.
For long format, like a long form conversation format.
I thought I was really cooking. I was like, yeah, like, because if anyone has forgotten, I've chosen strictly Disney movies to torture Jeremy, but also because they're fun. But one of my rules was it had to be a movie that I wanted to talk about, that I could talk about. And you're right, I have picked ones that are very hard.
They're hard. Yeah.
The Muppets, even though I love that movie, I definitely kind of ran out of things to say. But I'm like, dude, we got to fill time. However, I do think next week's movie, we might be able to have a really good conversation about. because it's a movie that everyone loves, man. Everyone like truly loves this movie. You know, why it hasn't gotten a Criterion, I'm shocked. Because WALL-E got a Criterion.
Yeah,
and I love WALL-E.
Yeah.
But this movie is also, in my opinion, it's on the same par as WALL-E.
Okay.
And I think it should also have a Criterion release. But I know it's also a Disney thing, and yeah. So next week, buddy, we're going to be talking about the 2007 film. Jeremy, what happens if you give a rat a chef's hat? Next week, we're going to be talking about Ratatouille.
Okay, so, cool. You know what? Awesome. I will say, to tease it, when asked what the greatest movie about food was, Anthony Bourdain said Ratatouille.
Yeah.
So,
now, yes, could he have been biased? He was a consultant on the film.
Sure.
However, Bourdain couldn't be bought, so I'm pretty sure if he even said like no, like this is, I love Ratatouille. Yeah. That's why, like I said, I love WALL-E. I think WALL-E is such a different film for Disney. I'm so glad we did it for the show, especially following such a traumatic episode for me. But I think Ratatouille's on that same level, dude. Like, you know, it's Pixar really firing on all cylinders. Mm-hmm. You know, again, shout out to our recent episode this season of Toy Story. You know, like, I feel like this one really, you know, doesn't necessarily have a villain, which is what Pixar's great at, is teaching a lesson. You know, this is, I mean, the greatest lesson that this movie has is don't judge a book by its cover.
Sure.
But it's so good.
It's good.
Voice cast is so great. Fucking Patton Oswalt, dude. You know, he has said he would be more than willing to come back and play Remy. But shout out to the man himself, Brad Bird. He's like, no, we don't need a sequel.
Nice.
But yeah, man. Can I tell you, it was between this and two other choices.
Okay.
Choice number one, because I was like, I don't know if I want to do another animated movie. So choice number one was, I'm pretty sure you would have killed me, but it's on the list, so we're gonna do it
eventually.
It was Mary Poppins.
Okay.
The second one, I was like, okay, I don't know, maybe not Mary Poppins. If we're gonna do an animated movie, we should do this one. And it was Robin Hood, okay. the animated Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Because I fucking love that movie. It's so good. But I was like, you know what? Ratatouille. We got to go Ratatouille.
Cool.
Sure. And also shout out to my coworker Al. She said you can't go wrong with Ratatouille.
Nah, it's great. Yeah.
I was like, I mean, you're not wrong. But cool, man. Well, everyone, we hope you enjoyed this episode on Bugonia, and we'll see you next week for Ratatouille.